I did 2 successful scalping sessions with subscribers where the total earnings amounted to more than 40,000. And now I will show you how it was and how you can join us. In this video I will also do a detailed analysis of my strategy and show how I think and make decisions. So if you want to be more successful than 19% of Forex trading, watch this video till the end. Well, I published the results of the last scalping session in my Telegram channel, and I also published the report data, so let's quickly copy the login and password and I'll show you what the trades I got. Let's go to the history for the last week, and here are the 2 trades that I got. The first trade is on the currency pair of British pound to Swiss franc. Let's look at this trade on the chart. What we see here, we have an upward movement. I understand that here we have a trend line, which we have already overcome. So this is a certain breakdown of the trend, but at the same time we still have the upward structure because each minimum is higher than the previous one. And let's say we have a constant update of the maximums. I mean, both is constantly updated, and at the same time from each minimums we have an upward movement. So the minimums we have are basically confirmed. Here is the last minimum, because after this minimum there was a movement which we were able to actually update the maximum. The maximum have not updated here, so in order for this minimum to become confirmed we need another upward movement which will update this maximum. Accordingly, the target of this movement was short. I expect that this maximum will be updated, and after that we will have a corrective movement. We see that the trend is slowly fading, so here we have a side wall where we have let's say the upper boundary of this side wall and, for example, the lower boundary of this side wall. So the price can calmly walk in this range from the upper boundary to the lower boundary, gradually removing liquidity. But we have removed liquidity from the bottom, so here I placed my limit with the following parameters. My target was just the zone from where we start to grow to this top. Let's see what happened. Unfortunately, we had a very frustrating situation. The maximum was not updated, and as you can see, the trade didn't bring anything. It was a very frustrating trade on which we could have made a lot of money. But unfortunately, as you can see on the trade, we didn't get a profit at all. It was very frustrating, although we could have made good money here. But that's okay. Let's move on the second trade. This is the euro to the British pound currency pair, and here we have already earned 1,500. Let's switch to this currency pair. Here we have a similar situation. We already have a breakdown of the structure here, which helped me to determine the indicator from Luke's Algo. By the way, you can add it. It greatly simplifies your understanding of the chart if you trade on smart money, and even in conjunction with technical analysis it can be used. A very simple trade was placed here too. First of all, to update this maximum with the purpose to update this minimum, because we didn't have liquidity withdrawal here. I understand that this is liquidity at the bottom, but because of the fact that I use scalping strategy, it is important for me to close the first trade with a high probability of profit. So I adjust my stop so that the trade was there at least 1 to 2, because the 1 to 3 trade is quite risky in my situation. And look what happens. The most important thing for me is to close this trade in plus in order to reduce the risk later. The setup works very well. Here we are updating the maximum. Moreover, we are not just updating this maximum, but also consolidation above it. And because of the fact that this is all an upward movement, I'm sure that most traders gained a position on the continuation of the update here on the retest. So it was a trap, because after this high was updated, we went down. It was a very predictable situation. Moreover, we had a divergence here, or you can see it because on the RSI oscillator we didn't update the top, but on the chart the top was updated. But I couldn't expect that the result of the movement will be such that we will update this minimum. And also look here at what happened next. Then we updated this minimum as well, and this of course was an absolute shock and surprise for myself, for me, because I didn't expect to see such a big movement. I earned only 1,500 on that. Let's look at it again. Here is this trade. I earned only 1,500 for myself and CopyTrading participants, but this trade could have brought us much more. I think 5,000 at least. Accordingly, we would have earned 4,000 from a 1,000, and everyone would have been incredibly happy. In spite of that, everyone was very happy because literally from one trade we increased the balance by 2.5 times. And this is nothing short of gratifying. but of course it could have been much better. Now let's consider the results of the second copy trading session. Here we also have a starting balance of 1000. I will not consider the cancel trades, but there were such trades too. Let's look at the first setup of the euro-dollar pair. I have also published it. It is quite detailed, clear, there is nothing complicated here. We also have sideways movements. I like to trade on sideways movements with a smart money strategy, because the chart has a lot of clear targets, especially when imbalanced or liquidity zones are formed. Here it was possible to open the short from any imbalance zone. It was even possible to open the short from the updating of this maximum, but there was not much liquidity here, because there were only a couple of touches to this zone. So I put let's say a limit here or here for insurance. For example, I put a limit here or here. Let's say somewhere here. Well, and take it is an update of this minimum from which the upward movement will go now. And here we have a divergence, but I missed this trade in long. I don't know how, but it happens. This is the first scalp trade, so I'm not risking much in it. We put the stop away just in case, and let's see how this trade will work itself out. Everything was extremely fast. As I said earlier, well, here just a little bit we didn't update the maximum. We touched this line again, so the next approach here will be liquidity, because traders will put their stops behind this level. It's approximately here. Well, traders will put their stops somewhere here, so the next time the chart will definitely liquidate them. I mean all of the smartest, in quotes, trades. Let's analyze the second profitable trade in this session. In general, this is not the second trade, just the first one closed without a loss. But unfortunately, it was just a little bit short of the take profit, so I will not review it. And this trade for 1400 profit, which also allowed us to finish the scalping session, because we increased the balance 3 times. I will show you this trade. I also published the setup in my channel, so follow the link from the description if you are interested in it. Look, what do we have here? First of all, we have a trend line. This is slope and liquidity, which sooner or later will be gathering here. To long from here, or let's say we're going to see now, even if we have an exit here, it will be extremely undesirable to long from here, because here we have a minimum and we can update it. So here I put not a stop but take. The position is in the long, let's say up to this imbalance zone. Well, and here, because we have already earned 700 on the first trade, I can divide the risk on the trade. I mean, to make it at least half of my balance. Anyway, this is a scalp session, quite risky, so this trade works itself out without problems as follows. Here we also have a divergence, because our RSI oscillator has not updated the minimum, but the chart has updated it. And it becomes my extra confirming factor for entering the trade. Plus we have a retest of the broken trend level. This trade also works itself out without any problems, so honestly I don't remember. Well, I think it worked out here. It was a couple of weeks ago and it brought us 1400 profit, from which we have withdrawn everything and left only another 1000 on the balance to continue working with it. My friends, I just did a review of my last 2 scalping sessions with subscribers. This was a public trade. If you want to join this trade or copy trades manually or fully automatically, then be sure to subscribe to my channel from the link from the description, and thank you very much for watching.